China and Russia can stop the USA. China and Russia coordinate efforts on the most acute international problems. As the Chinese ambassador to Russia Zhang Hanhui said, China and Russia are responsible for maintaining international stability and peace, and for this they work together on international platforms, coordinate foreign policy steps on the most important issues of world politics. In particular, the ambassador said that in response to the US withdrawing from the medium and short-range missile treaty, the PRI and the Russian Federation will coordinate efforts to convince countries that the United States can offer to deploy such weapons on their territory so that they do not accept such proposals. These weapons cannot guarantee the security of these countries, but on the contrary undermines it and creates additional threats. Before you raise such a stone, you need to think about whether it will knock off his legs. Ultimately, it is not profitable. After all, these countries run the risk of starting a fight with two giants, like an ant against an elephant. According to Zhang Hanhui, the statement by the Russian president about helping China to create an early warning system for a missile attack is just a reaction to the US withdrawal from the INF Treaty. As you know, earlier, speaking at a meeting of the Ruptly discussion club, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced his readiness to assist China in creating a missile attack warning system, including large ground-based radars and early warning satellites. According to Putin, today only Russia and the United States have such systems. The implementation of such an idea would radically increase the defense capability of the PRI. The joint work with Russia to create a missile attack early warning system for China is just beginning, but I am sure that it will bring good results, the Chinese ambassador said, and emphasized that this system is purely defensive in nature. By guaranteeing the security of China, it will not harm the security of other countries. At the same time, according to the Chinese ambassador, there will be no military alliance between Russia and China in the foreseeable future. All bilateral interstate documents provide for the renunciation by the PRI and Russia of this form of cooperation and confrontation with third countries. We are brothers, and this is more than allies, said the head of the diplomatic mission of China. Speaking about pressing issues of current politics, Zhang Hanhui said that China and Russia jointly advocate for the territorial integrity of Syria, against terrorism in the region and in the world. He criticized the military operation of Turkey, calling it aggression against a sovereign state. We are against the Turkish intervention in Syria. After all, this is another country, this is the territory of Syria. Under the guise of fighting terrorism, one must not interfere in the affairs of other states. Nobody has the right, referring to the so-called Kurdish threat, to attack Syria. The fight against terrorism is the task of the entire world community, and not of Turkey alone. According to a Chinese diplomat, Turkey's military operation Source of Peace in northeastern Syria could have a negative impact on all efforts of the international community to Syrian settlement and the fight against terrorism. The actions of the Turkish army in Syria could upset the balance of power in the region and nullify all the positive results of the anti-terrorist actions of the international community. Moreover, the fight against ISIS is almost over. In addition, such interventions lead to a humanitarian disaster. Many peaceful people have already perished, settlements have been destroyed. As you know, Russia is also in favor of restoring the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the SAR, as well as for controlling the border with Turkey by Syrian forces. Speaking about coordinating the efforts of China and Russia at the Union, Zhang Hanhui said that the great countries of Russia and China are in the Union Security Council for maintaining peace and maintaining international security. At the same time, Russian and Chinese representatives work in the Security Council as one team. The ambassador also noted the coordinated work of the foreign ministries of Russia and China, which hold monthly consultations. In addition, there is a thorough exchange of views on regional issues at the level of deputy foreign ministers of the two countries and heads of departments. The Chinese ambassador sharply criticized US actions that provoke provocations and deny visas to Russian diplomats and officials, calling it hooliganism. Such US actions do not comply with international rules and practice. It is an insult. They are obliged to guarantee a dignified attitude to every citizen arriving in the country. They must provide access to union sites. According to Zhang Hanhui, China and Russia are also actively cooperating on a settlement in Afghanistan. According to the Chinese ambassador, consultations on Afghanistan will be held soon with the participation of Russia, China, the USA and Pakistan, and the Chinese delegation will certainly take an active part in them. Particularly close and productive cooperation between the two countries, as the Chinese diplomat emphasized, is within the framework of the EA and the SCO. According to the ambassador, next year China plans to begin comprehensive cooperation with the EA in all areas: the economy, customs regulation, humanitarian contacts and other areas. As for the SCO, the PRI next year will provide all-round support to Russia, as the current chairman of the SCO, in preparing for the summit of this organization and in general in its current work. The Islamic State movement was recognized as a terrorist organization by a decision of the Supreme Court of the Russian Federation dated December 29, 2014. Its activities in Russia are prohibited.